All right, October 11th, live day trading. Scan, survey, submit. Every day, same thing. Keep those consistent actions and attempts to get consistent results. Scanning the stock market right now for any stocks that may meet or that do meet my initial criteria of volume and volatility. Every day, I need stocks with volume. I need stocks with volatility. Let's see. Once I find those stocks, what am I going to do? I'm going to survey. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to look at the charts. I'm going to look for different places to buy, different places to sell. And once I find those, I'm going to submit trade orders. Typically limit orders, sometimes market orders. That's where we're at right now. The market yesterday took a huge dump. So let's see if we go Hughes. I mean, look at that. That's insane. Man. You just see it just dumped. All sorts of conjectures on the reason why it dumped. I don't know, man. I'm not an economics analyst. I don't know. I don't know why things happen the way they happen. I don't really care why. I just want to kind of figure out what the probabilities are. That's really what I'm doing. If this, then this. Simple if then type of statements. That's what I'm looking at here. Only 3 stocks so far on my scanner. CRSP, here, MER. So first 5 minutes, not a lot going on. I wait to see what the market does. Some days I get several stocks pop up on my scanner. Sometimes it's only, 1 or 2. Be interesting to see after yesterday's plummet if anything good's going to happen today. It's interesting, this initial push down, 650,000 shares. It's coming back up. When you're surveying, using technical analysis on the charts, on different time frames, like I've said before, technical analysis it's a roadmap, but it's not, in and of itself, it doesn't really, just kind of gives you a general idea of what the market may be doing. But entry strategies, exit strategies, that's everything I'm gaining the probabilities for. If you've listened to this, if you've listened to me in the past, I'm going to repeat myself a lot because I believe in being consistent. Part of the reason for this exercise of recording this every day is because I was really inconsistent in what I was doing. I was looking at my trades and it's like, God, I was just getting in all over the place, and sure there were trade entries, but they were just inconsistent. So I'm really on a mission here for consistency. This is interesting right here. That spread is so big, there's nothing I can do with that. Whoa, look at that. Huge volume, pushing it down. Okay. I can't trade it though, man. I can't trade before 9:35. It's just one of my rules. But I do, however, like that. So what am I looking at here? FLR. God, the spread 28 cents. I can't do a 28 cent spread. Let's see what else we have here. Again, huge spread. That's why I like doing, okay, it's almost 6:35, live day trading as opposed to just back testing everything. Because, live I can see that there's these huge spreads. If I was just back testing this, I might not, unless I get real granular data, I may not understand just how wide the spreads are. It's easy to look at this in hindsight and go, oh, look at this huge volume, this topping tail right here, definitely sell. That hindsight bias, right? But the reality is when I get in and I look at it and I go, there's a 30-cent spread. That's why I didn't trade that. That's why I like doing the real-time live day trading as opposed to just looking at charts afterwards. So SQ, that is where the volume's at right now. So it has this big push, right? This big initial bar, 1.5 million. I would like, if price came back down to the VWAP, that may be a really good place. Let's see here. Okay, so let me kind of consider a plan of action for that. Okay, what would I want? The 14, I want about a 30-cent stop. So what would that be? 50. Comes down to 50. Oh, look at that. But I can't, man, it's 11-cent spread. I can't do any, I don't know what the hell's going on. All right, I can't, look at that spread, man. I can't get in on a spread like that. Gotta watch the spread. Okay, so what am I looking at here? Big volume. If this comes back down, I can take 31 cents. 91. Okay, so this I'm actually going to place a buy order. 93.20. Okay, I'm going to do 35 cents. Actually, what do I like it right there to 80, right? Let's do 40. Oops. Move this down to 15. Okay. There's my buy order, my limit order I'm going to place if it comes back down, which I don't know if it will, but we'll see what happens. It's kind of making a run for it. Let's see what else we have here. Well, I like this level right here. So around VWAP, 40 cents. So what would this, the height of that would be 82. So if I take 40 cents, the open, 35.75. Man, that's hard. So I like this area right here, but how, where do you put the stop? That's the question. Like, I gotta have kind of a clear spot to take the stop. It's gonna be interesting if that gets stuck right there. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna come back down. 40 cents, if I get in at 15, what's that, 75 would be my stop. Yeah, because then if it goes into, yeah, I think that's pretty good right there. I like that. This is really getting stuck up in here. Tries to push, it can't. There was rejection. But I think this looks more like a buying opportunity if it comes back into this level. 15. So on this one, 35 cents. 15 and 35 would be 50. I can take 40 cents. So it comes into 50, my stop would be 10. take 45. Actually, let's take 30. 33. My stop would be 93. Okay. I like that. Let's see what we got here now. Got 2 limit orders placed. Love to see this one come back down. I like to see it come down on light volume. Ooh, that's interesting right here. Really wasn't able to do much. Big volume still right here though. Always watching for volume. Volume, volume, volume. Where's the volume coming in? It's really, really important. So I like this area because this is where the volume was. I don't know where in this bar the volume was, but I know there was volume, and then after this price went up, which I like. The other thing is this is kind of a surprise stock. Let's see. So what do I mean by it being a surprise stock? Look at this. Yesterday it came crashing down, and look where it opened today. Everyone is surprised. Everyone's like, whoa, what the hell happened? Everyone was selling off. And then everybody who sold down here, they woke up and the market opened up here on them. So that is a hell of a surprise, right? So you got a lot of people trying to get out of their position, which is going to push price up. Taking 40 cents a risk. So if it comes in 35.15, 75 is my stop. And the open was 80. So yeah, I like that stop because if it goes below the open, then that might be an issue. But right now, everybody's surprised. You know, they woke up this morning and holy shit, I mean, the stock was up so high. So everybody who sold, I can't even put it on the, everyone who sold down here, 31.75, woke up with the market 34. I mean, that's crazy. That's a huge loss for a lot of people. So let's see what happens right in here. Didn't really come down far enough. 91 to 29. You know, actually having this as my stop might have been a better place. This might have actually been the better entry. Let me keep looking through. Having that consistency of where you're going to place your stops is really, and that's what I'm working on. Like, where would I want to place my stops? Okay, what I don't like about this is this volume right here. Makes me a little nervous, but I still think this might be a pretty good area. I'm taking, 100. Ooh, that's messed up. Okay, I got to cancel that because that wasn't, I didn't set my, so what do I want on this? 40 cent stop, right? So where would be, yeah, so if I'm doing 35, okay, 35, and doing 40 cents. Okay. So I'm going to set my stop at 48, just under 48. So if it kind of comes back down, okay, cool, just tag me in. We'll see what happens. Now look at the buying that came in at that area. Right there, buying came in. So other people have the same idea as me. And I think if it drops below 48, this is a fairly repeatable type trade. I don't know if it's going to work, but that's why I'm gathering the stats. That's why I'm gathering the data. I can look at these trades after I do several of them and say, hey, that strategy has no edge. Or I can say, hey, that strategy, that's where the money's at right there. Okay, now look at that. I forgot to even set my stop. So let's go ahead and set this stop. 40 cents below. 35 would be $95. Oops. Let's modify order. 95. We'll see what happens. Real tight stops. So I'm 40 cents, right? So it could pop up 80. So 35, 80 would be 15. Price going up to here I think is pretty doable. What I don't like is this big volume right here. That makes me nervous, but my profit is underneath that volume, so it might be okay. That engulfing right there. All I need to do is tag me in because I don't see a lot of buyers right here. Let's see what happens. So one of the things I like to do is base my entry on my stop. So I kind of have an idea of how big a stop I want when I'm trading the stock. And usually it's some percentage of that range of the day. So for instance, if the stock's moved $1 in the day, maybe I want to do a 20-cent stop, 20% of the average move. And so I look for an area and then I just basically count backwards, you know what I mean? So for this one, 40 cents. So I'm thinking this bar right here, if it gets below this, then it's probably going to be broken. I want to have a 40-cent stop. So I'm just going to move my entry above, right there. 35.15 gives me a stop at around 75, which is just below that where I want my stop. Because I think if price comes underneath this, it's probably going to keep going. But right now, it's giving me kind of a bullish, because it ran up so hard with the volume, kind of came down on lighter volume. It's kind of getting stuck here, so I like that. So I look at where I think my stop should be, and then I just count, go backwards from there to find out where my entry should be. A little bit different than I think a lot of people do it, but it works. And look at this, it may not even hit my entry. Same thing with this. I thought, hey, I want to take, again, 40-cent stop. I think a good stop would be underneath this bar right here. The low of that would be 48.11. So I set my stop at 47.95, which is about 16 cents. I don't like doing it right to the penny. I like giving it a little room. And then I just put my entry, so I go to 47.95 because I don't want to set my entry at 48 at a whole number, and I don't. So this right here, this low is 48.11. I don't want to set my stop right at 48.11 because I could easily hit that. I don't want to go to 48.05 because, if you do 48.05, 48 could possibly be an area of support people might be wanting to buy. So you're just trying to set your stop in a place where it may make it a little bit more difficult for price to get there. So I see this area right here, and I see how price came down and pushed off of it, right? So buyers stepped in right here. So I want to set my stop underneath that. And then so I'm setting my entry basically 40 cents above that because I want a 40-cent stop. And that's based on the range. The range of FLR today is about 280, 278, 280. So I don't want a dollar stop. I like really tight stops because it's easier to get 3-to-1, 4-to-1 type profit to loss ratios, which is really important to me. Look, coming right into this spot, which is very interesting right here. I'm actually digging that. 97. My stop could be 55 cents. What's the spread on that? 10? 40. See what happens if it can't really hold. God, that spread's kind of getting... Our buyers stepping in right there. The last time price rejected was up here at 36. So you know what? I'm actually going to put a sell order right up in here because price came up in here and rejected last time. And that's what I like. And then my stop is going to be 50 cents. Actually, my stop, if I want a 30-cent stop, man, I would have to place my entry way up here. 70, that would be 30. I would do 35 because price rejected pretty hard last time. Go and set that order. So this is a little tough right here because you have this big volume right here, price pushed down, came back up to it and really pushed down. So if it kind of meanders up into this area, I may be setting my entry a little high. But that's all right, we're just going to leave it for now. Man, look at that. I set my entry for 35.15. It came to 35.17, right? And I was doing a 40-cent stop. So that'd be 80 cents. That would be 97. Look, it's almost giving me that 2-to-1, but I was 2 pennies off. It's all right, it happens. But the correct stop might have been just under this. I think I may have set my stop too big. 15, 75. The stop actually, what's the low? This low of this, 91. Could have been probably around 80. Maybe 5 cent difference, which is about, what I missed it by. So now this is interesting right here. It tried to break up. It couldn't. It's not a ton of volume. But that spread, man. 850. It's 15-cent spread. I only want to take about a 25-cent risk on this, so I don't want to take, 15-cent spread. Okay, now what I'm going to do, though, on this, I got to cancel this order because I don't want to come back down and fill me. That wasn't able to push up, which makes me a little nervous right there. So if this gives me a nice little narrow range bar right here, I may consider shorting here and then setting my stop above this. But we're just going to have to kind of wait and see what happens. So right now it's a 26-cent range. And I still want to keep, let's see. The high of this bar is 58. It may be making too much of a move right now. Definitely was a shorting opportunity in here too. I didn't really see that at the time. Yeah, this volume pushing it down. It comes back up. It hits volume right there. Hits volume. Isn't able to go higher. It's a nice little 27 narrow cent range. I mean, this would actually have been a good shorting opportunity. Do 30 cents. I need a 60 cent. Yeah, it definitely would have gotten me what I needed right there. See, it's gone too much. If this would have stayed tight right in here, I would have sold. So basically, there's kind of like a little battle that's being fought. And then if it breaks down, chances are that it's going to kind of go the distance. I like seeing places where battles were fought. The bulls, the bears are sitting there, they're going at it for a while, and then all of a sudden, because then if price breaks from that point, oh, look at this, man. I missed this. Oh, look at that. I missed this bull flag setup. Whew. That's and it's man. 23. Yeah, because I would have said about a 25 cent stop on this as soon as that broke. So where I would have probably bought was on this bar right here. And I would have set a 25-cent stop. 46. Would I have gotten stopped out? No, wouldn't have got stopped out. Man. 5-minute bull flag. I mean, that's like textbook right there. Just a textbook bull flag. So, oh man, I'm so bummed I missed that. shot up. Look at that nice range. Nice. I mean, this right here, look at that narrow range bar. It's only 19 cents right here. My stop on this particular stock would be about 25 cents. And that, again, that stop is based on the full range of the day. Would have got in. Usually what I do is once this forms, I don't wait for it to break. Just once this forms, I typically would just buy. So it ends on this one. On the very next candle I buy, I set my 25-cent stop, which would be below. So let's see where I would buy at here. Buy at 52.25 would be 27. So my stop would have been 27. So it would have almost stopped me out, but it wouldn't have. Set it 2-to-1. So I'm looking for a 50. Yeah, I wouldn't have hit my 2-to-1 yet, but it would have been creeping up there. These 7 stocks just scanning. This is something I've mentioned a lot, is just this 9 EMA and how I notice how price seems to kind of react. But again, just because you notice price reacting doesn't necessarily give you... Man, I'm bummed I missed that. Ooh, let's see what this. So, like I said last time, if this gives me a nice little narrow range bar, so I'm still okay with that, because the volume's really dying out. Like, people are trying to buy it, and it's just not able to push. It's like this big push down is kind of what's dictating the rest of the move for the day. So this is kind of like a bear flag, kind of comes up and meanders here. So I would set my stop just above this. What's this? So the high is 58. I would set my stop probably around 65 or so, which means I'd have to get in at 10, probably 15. This area, 30. So let's see what happens on this. This might be interesting. So I'll put sell at 39.15, 30.15 with a 50 stop. So that would stop me out at 65. And that's only if I get what I want, only if it does what I want it to do. But I set that there so that way when I come back to it, I don't have to think too long and hard about it. These one-to-one trades. So you just see what happens. Think that without it giving me, let's see the high 01. Where did I say I would have gotten in at? Let's see the very next one, like right in here. Yeah, I don't think I would have gotten my 2 to, well, maybe. It's kind of coming back down though. Let's see if this engulfs. If this engulfs with volume, that may be a good place to short. Because it's not able to make any, kind of made a higher, and then look at it just coming back down on volume. On volume, it's coming down. So let's look at this candle right here, 31 cents. This is 41 cents. The volume It's just kind of stuck sideways. I would have liked it if it really came down hard with a lot of volume, but didn't really give me what I wanted, so I'm not looking to short that. So let's look at, let's see here. Yeah, this one didn't give me what I wanted. I thought it might come back down, but I wanted it to come back up before it went back down. I like how this price is just kind of getting stuck sideways. Not a big fan of that. It's just not able to make any higher highs. Kind of looks like I'm gonna move this to break even, because it kind of looks like it's wedging. It's making lower, lower. So that high was 94, next high was 89, next high was 80. So the highs are getting less and less. But the lows, let's see what the lows are doing. 12, 40, 24. I mean, the lows are getting higher. It's really wedging pretty hard in there. God. $35, $58. Well, I don't actually, you know what? I'm just going to leave it because I got to remind myself I'm not doing this to win the trades. I'm doing it to collect data. And that's, the whole point of this exercise is to collect data. So is that part of me that wants to say, okay, just move this to break even, but it doesn't matter. This is paper trading. The whole point is to collect data. So I have to see. I don't have a rule set up right now for breaking even. And if I don't have a rule for breaking even, I can't, I'm going to look at my data and go, well, why did I move my stop to break even? Is it going to be based on, a time, which it might be. I might say, hey, if price hasn't hit where I wanted it to, then after 15 minutes, just move my stop to break even, which will be cool. But I don't have that. I don't have that set into place, so I can't change it. I can't move my stop to break even because I don't have a rule in place to do that. And that is just, that's the whole point of this exercise, is to gather the data. So that way I can establish those rules. I can establish, when I should move my stop to break even based on data, right? Not just based on a feeling. Well, I feel I should move it. Well, why do I feel that way? I don't have the data to support that feeling. So right now it's just a feeling. I don't really want to trade based on what I'm feeling in the moment. I want to trade based off the data that I've collected, off the analysis that I've run. We'll just keep looking here. But, that's something I can run in my analysis, right? I can say, okay, when I get into an entry, if price hasn't hit my target within 15 minutes, move the stop to break even. or something to that effect, right? Or I may do my analysis and I can realize, hey, 80% of the time, if price hasn't hit my target in 20 minutes, then I may end up taking a loss. So it's better just to set my stop to break even. So the whole point of this exercise, of this paper trading, collecting the data, that way I can make informed decisions. Not, stop guessing. I'm guessing all the time. I got to stop guessing. I want to know. So I'm not trying to win. I'm just trying to collect data. I have to keep reminding myself of that. All right, so just not a lot going on right now. This ended up coming down like I thought it would, but didn't give me an entry. Did not give me an entry, which is disappointing. Want that repeatable action, you know what I mean? Like, just didn't give it to me. Here, this is interesting. This is actually this is something else when I look at it. So what do I see here? Here's the previous pivot right here, right? Comes back down. It shoots up above the pivot and shoots right back down. That's a fairly bearish signal right there. Might have been a good place to get short 3280. Let's see here. I mean, it kind of looks like, almost like a railroad track, Two railroad tracks right here. It was shot up above this pivot. Wasn't in it. Now look at it, it's just tanking. Man, that might have been a good short. I don't have a clarification for this type of trade though, so. Look at these shares too, man. 300,000, 300,000, 300,000. That's why I love these big boy stocks, because you can take some size and look at the movement. I mean, imagine if you got 50,000 shares of this, right? And you got in at 73, and it's down now past 71. That's $100,000 you can make on this trade. $100,000 you could have made on this trade if you had the capital to back it. And this could be a fairly viable trading setup. But that's why I like trading the big boy stocks. Because eventually when I have these stats figured out, I'm looking, to make real money. Why work so hard at this just so you can make a couple $100 a day? Well, looks like it's going to hit my stop, which I thought it was going to. I talked about putting but I didn't have a rule in place for that, so I couldn't. So, it is what it is. That's probably going to hit. No big deal. Yep, there it goes. I'm out. Yeah, so I gotta create some kind of rule for break even, but that's going to be a while. I plan on doing this paper trading. I'm going to be doing it for a while. I'm not in a hurry. I'm looking at this like getting my, like I was going to become a surgeon. I want to be a stock market surgeon. You want to be a surgeon, plan on being in school for a long time. So this is what this is for me. It's just schooling. But when I'm done, I want to be the best. Not like the best that ever lived, but I consider the best like maybe top 90% of traders. There's that stat that, only, 5% of traders actually make money. But then what's the percentage of those that actually make real money, like big money, So I want to be out of that top 5% that make money. I want to be in the top 5% of that 5%. You know what I mean? So I'll do the time, put in my homework. 10 years. 10 years from now, that's what I'm looking at. 10 years don't scare me. I'm in my 40s now. 10 years goes by so fast. I went from all through my 20s, all through my 30s, and I look back and God, 10 years used to scare me. Do I really want to put in the work? Do I want to work that hard for something? I just I get into my early 50s, where I'll be at, hopefully, yeah, I'd like it to happen before then, but this is my path. This is my career path. So that's what I'm going to do. And build these probabilities, man. And when I get there, probably won't be doing YouTube by, by then, but when I get there, it's gonna be worth it. All right, I'm out for today.